I'm Donna from Balanced Life Yoga, and I'd like to run through about a 15-minute yoga practice. Very easy, designed that anybody could do it at home with very little props. For example, today I'll just be using my mat, my yoga mat, and this one simple block, which are easy to get at any store. All right, so let's go ahead and begin, and we'll start with sitting in a position called Virasana. And for that, I take my block and come up to my knees, put the block between my feet, and then sit back on it. And I just want to try to get as tall as I can, maybe press down on my thighs and lift through my ribs, roll my shoulders back, and just find a nice, comfortable, tall position. And now's a good time to just close our eyes for just a moment here and allow yourself to feel the moment as it is, the current moment, and we're going to let go of the previous part of the day, the future that's not here yet, and just kind of tune in to the here and the now. And you can do that by paying attention to your breath as you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And it's nice to also take some deep breaths, which are a little bit more mindful and deeper than you would do when you're just breathing in everyday life. So just stay focused here, just maybe just a tiny bit longer. Feel your body in space for tallness, for letting go, letting the shoulders down, but keeping the spine tall. All right, so we're going to come back into the room and keep that inner focus with our eyes. Bring the arms out to the side, reach up, breathe in, and clasp the hands together, and then take that upward as you stretch the arms and just sort of wiggle your body, lift the pit of your belly in and up, make yourself tall and long through your ribs. Take a nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, we release the arms, come all the way down and bring them behind us, clasping together again, and then pulling back down along the tailbone as you stretch the chest and the heart open and the shoulders down and back. One more inhale. And exhale. Release the arms and come forward off of your block. And we're going to just move it off to the side. Bring your knees up and your feet ahead of you a little bit in just a slight leaning position. I'm just going to go side to side with my knees here in a little windshield wiper pose. So just a little small twist for the body, kind of warming up the pelvis and the hips. All right, so next time we come over to the left, we're going to hold that position. Release my right arm and bring it around, and actually I can just twist and press off of that thigh right there, and that's going to give me a really nice twist, reaching up and out, ribs away from the abdomen, and I can add an arm stretch to that. That's always optional, and everything is in yoga. You just want to work at your own pace, follow your own energy level, and then we'll come back and turn back where we were, and then do the other side, taking those knees over. And again, remember, we can just stretch without the hand or add it. Yeah. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll come back where we started. This time, I'm going to cross my legs and just use that as a way to get myself forward into the all fours position. And we're going to do something called a beetle asana, or also cat-cow. So for this position, we stay in a tabletop back, lower the chest toward the floor as the glutes lift, the tailbone lifts up, and the head lifts. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, let the head go down, draw the pit of the belly in and up, and tuck your tailbone in. So we're just going to alternate between these two positions. And let's get one more. And when we return to stopping point, we just bring ourselves back to a neutral spine, halfway in between those two movements. I'm going to bring my hands a little bit forward on the mat and make sure they're nice and spread apart, pressing the index finger and the thumb down. I'm curling my toes under, and I'm going to lift up into a position called the downward facing dog. And this is an upside down letter V. Let your head, chest go towards your thighs. As your legs are straightening, as they're able to, lift up your heels and then place them down and lift the tailbone toward the sky. All right, now that is a really nice stretch for the whole body. I'm going to come back to the mat here for a second and show you one more using the block. For this one, this is a little seated practice or pose. I'm going to take the left leg out to the side in external rotation and then cross it back behind the opposite knee. Move my feet apart and then shift my hands back as I grab my block and put it underneath me. I'm coming up into a seated position, and I'm going to also wrap my arms around. And this is called Gomukhasana. Legs position and a different position for the arms. And sometimes we mix different poses together, and that's fine, acceptable, creative. Nice deep breath in. And then as we exhale, we unwind, come forward. I'm just going to scoop my block out of the way. Get ready for side two, right leg out to the side, crossing back behind the left knee, separating the feet, and then sitting back once again onto that block. I'm going to switch the arms this time. So the same arm crosses over with the leg that's crossing over on top. Gomukhasana legs in 1/2 eagle arms. Stretching up. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. One more time. Releasing. Bringing those hands forward. I'm unwinding. I bring my block to the ready position up at the top part of my mat on the right. And once again, lifting up into the downward facing dog. From here, we're going to take two standing poses. The first one, we're going to bring our right foot forward in between the hands and drop the heel back on the left leg behind you. Using the block, bringing it toward the pinky toe, I'm going to take the highest level to show you here. Straightening the front leg, pressing strongly through the back leg, and then rotating the ribs up. This is called Trikonasana, or triangle pose. It's a straight arm stretching up your hand fingertips to the sky. And you can also go down and make the block lower as long as you can still keep the leg straight and keep the ribs rotating up and a nice open heart and chest. So you can always make it a little bit harder or easier depending on your energy level, your physical level, and so forth. All right, bringing this to Warrior Two, just takes us up, stretches the arms out and bends the front knee, keeping the knee over the ankle and not surpassing the toes. And draw your tailbone slightly toward the floor here and looking over the right shoulder. Warrior Two. Take a nice deep breath. And we're going to rotate back toward the forward edge of the mat. Just scoop that block out of the way, hands to the earth, stepping back into that downward dog once again. I'm going to move my block to the other side and repeat those two standing poses. Triangle. Warrior Two. Rotating back to the front edge of the mat. Block out of the way, hands to the earth, downward dog. We're coming into a position called half plank. First, we shift our body weight forward. This is actually full plank with the legs all the way up off the floor. Half plank lowers the knees down. And then from here, I'm going to stretch all the way forward. My chest as far toward, right in between my shoulder blades, and then lower down slowly. When I get down there, I'm going to point those toes, shift the hands back, pull the elbows toward my back. And I'm going to lift the chest and heart and roll those shoulders back as I do so. Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. Can also be done with a bent elbow or a full extension. Pressing back or coming down first and then lifting back up, taking yourself into the pose of the child. I can even put my head down on the mat here, just bring my arms around the back like a small rock figure. And this just gives me a chance to collect my breath and my thoughts and give my low back a nice stretch. All right, bringing those hands to the earth. I'm lifting up one more time. I'm going to come forward and show you the last pose today, which is called Janu Shirshasana. And I'm going to bend my left knee, taking that foot to the inside right thigh. As I do so, I want to rotate my pelvis so that everything is facing forward and I'm straight across the back as I can be. Straighten that front leg and press it to the earth. As I roll my shoulders back, and I can demonstrate this by just pulling the whole shoulder set back there. And inhale, and then I'm going to exhale, stretch forward. I'm hinging from the hips, not from the waist. That's a little bit of an important point here with the Janu Shirshasana. And I can also bring my hands down, but I want to keep my armpits high and keep my ribs lifting up. As I breathe, I might get a little bit more length, and as I exhale, I might be able to come a little bit closer to the thigh. And you can use a belt to connect here, or you could reach your low leg or your toes, or even maybe hook beyond the foot if you do this for a while. So inhale, lift, and exhale, stretch over. One more time with that lifting up and stretching in, up, and over. It really helps to try to do it a few times. And we release, switching sides, evening out the pelvis, evening out the foot, pressing down, lifting up, shoulders back, reaching forward. Don't be too much of a hurry to get down, but as you go, it'll get easier. Inhale, lift, exhale, stretch, and lower down. And as we release, it's good to end with a little bit of symmetry. So I'm going to just turn to you and offer Baddha Konasana with the bottoms of the feet together and the knees out to the side. It's also sometimes nice to have a little bit of height underneath you for this pose. So I'm just going to grab that block and get that nice tall Baddha Konasana to end. It's nice to follow your practice by Shavasana also, which is a chance just to lie out and relax and close your eyes for a few minutes. So as I think our program has already gone, our 15 minutes, I'm going to encourage you to, after this Baddha Konasana pose, lay down on your mat, just relax your body and your mind, and just take a couple minutes to just reflect upon the quiet, creative aspect of yourself without thinking. And that will wrap up your practice. And I do thank you for joining me today. Donna from Balanced Life Yoga. Keep strong always. Thank you. Namaste.